Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Clinical Application of Respiratory Care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. Second edition. Welcome. Happy September. So, this is episode 27 of Clinical Application of Respiratory Care. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. Welcome, YouTube. Peace, peace. So we pick up page 173, down in the middle, airway resistance. Introduction of aerosol into the tracheobronchial tree will cause an increase in total airway resistance. It is noted that this increase in resistance is greatest when the aerosolized material is distilled water. Aerosols of normal saline also cause an increase in total airway resistance, but to a lesser degree. The airway resistance caused by distilled water is partially reversible by bronchodilators, whereas the airway resistance in response to normal saline is not reversible by bronchodilators. There is great controversy about the causes for these reactions, and at the present time, it is not clear what roles tonicity and salt content play. A widely acceptable clinical observation is the optimal solutions for aerosol therapy are 0.25% or 0.45% saline, 0.9% NaCl is normal saline. These solutions seem to produce less increase in airway resistance than either distilled water or normal saline, and the increased airway resistance is partly responsive to bronchodilator therapy. Clearance of aerosols. We shall discuss only the removal of particles from the pulmonary tract by means other than that of exhaled air. Much of the inhaled particulate water is removed from the pulmonary tree by exhalation. These exhaled water particles are not deposited and therefore are not of therapeutic significance. We must consider the mechanisms by which the pulmonary tree clears the deposited water in both the tracheobronchial tree and the parenchyma. The pulmonary mechanisms for clearing of aerosols is the same as the discussion of the lung defense mechanisms in Chapter 1. We are concerned primarily with the deposition of water particles in the tracheobronchial tree for the purpose of promoting mobilization of the mucus blanket. Thus, the very act of clearing the deposited aerosol is the desired effect of aerosol therapy, the mobilization of the mucus blanket. Very key, very key. Peace, YouTube. Thank you for reading with us. Highest heart love. In summary, the medical aerosol ideally, 1, is a weak saltwater solution. 2, contains particles of 1 micron in diameter. 3, has water contents in excess of 100 milligrams over liters. 4, is delivered with the patient mouth breathing. And 5, is delivered with a deep and slow ventilatory pattern. The study of aerosol penetration and deposition is so technically unsure that there is no dependable information from direct study at the present time. We must make our basic evaluation on the theoretic application of physics and clinical observation. Welcome, YouTube. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 1,000 on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Thank you so much for being here. Highest heart love. We're on page 174 in the middle. Welcome, Divine Rising. Aerosol generators. An atomizer generates an aerosol. Instruments that generate aerosols of uniform particle size are called nebulizers. Medical nebulizers are designed to deliver a maximum number of uniform particles for penetration and distribution in the pulmonary tree. Medical nebulizers can be subdivided into two general categories: pneumatic and electrical. A pneumatic generator operates from a pressurized gas source. An electric generator derives its power from an electric source. We shall consider two types of pneumatic nebulizers: the jet nebulizer and the hydrodynamic nebulizer. We shall consider one electric generator, the ultrasonic nebulizer. We shall consider one electric, yeah, the ultrasonic nebulizer. These three are the significant types of generators in use at the present time. Figure 9.3 illustrates the principle of baffling. A baffle is a device that deflects gas flow. When such a device is placed in the path of a gas flow that contains water particles, the particles will smash against the baffle and break up into smaller particles. The heavier, larger particles will collide with the sides of the tube or container and rain out. The smaller particles will again join the gas flow distal to the baffle. The more baffles in a series, the smaller and more uniform the particle size. The water surface sides of the container and right angle bends in tubing may function as baffles. Most pneumatic nebulizers create uniform, small particle size by baffling systems. Atomizers do not contain baffles. The jet nebulizer is a system in which a high velocity gas flow is directed over a tube that is immersed in a water reservoir. This figure 9.4. The Bernoulli effect, see Chapter 7, causes the water to rise in the tube and be sprayed out into the high velocity airflow. These gross particles are then baffled into uniform particle sizes. And here is figure 9.3, the principle of baffling. And you see the high pressure gas flow, and then where it's going to the patient. And you see the baffle, which spreads the particles out as a circular unit. And then you see the water reservoir. Now, this is going to be where different particles fall and release to. Highest heart love. Thank you, Topodot. Highest heart love. Welcome. Thank you for reading with us. Clinical Application of Respiratory Care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. I welcome you to this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm a master fitness trainer by trade, Uriel Neville Riley. Thank you so much for reading with us. So, and here's at the bottom, you see the room air, the Venturi mechanism, the high pressure gas flow, and where it's going to the patient. Then you see the heater below it and the water reservoir. That's the jet all-purpose nebulizer. This one's here at the bottom. Gratitude for being here and reading books with us. Love to the book lovers community, all our friends and families out here. Happy Tuesday. All right. The pneumatic force comes directly from gas cylinder, pipeline, or compressor. A Venturi mechanism, see Chapter 7, is incorporated to provide a high total gas flow. This makes a readily available oxygen dilution system for combining controlled oxygen therapy with the aerosol therapy. A water heater allows the temperature of the carrier gas to be controlled. The combination of 1. The jet nebulizer action. 2. A Venturi oxygen device. And 3. A heater is called an all-purpose nebulizer. Such device allows control of FiO2 water content and temperature and ideal high flow oxygen system. See Chapter 7. The tradition has created a confusing nomenclature for categorizing types of nebulization units. The following discussion is compatible with traditional nomenclature, yet applicable to newly developed disposable units. It is not our purpose to detail various commercially available nebulizers, but rather to aid the therapist in evaluating and applying commercially available equipment. Before clinically classifying nebulizers, it is essential to define 4 types of nebulizing units. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Peace and highest heart love, everyone. Thank you for all the book lover community, all our friends here on YouTube and creators that also read books. We love you and value you so much. Peace, peace. Tradition has created a confusing nomenclature for categorizing types of nebulization units. The following discussion is compatible with traditional nomenclature and applicable. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. The 4 types of nebulizing units. 1. Reservoir jet nebulizers have solution reservoirs in excess of 250 milliliters to provide long-term aerosol therapy. 2. Standard jet nebulizers have reservoir capacities less than 20 milliliters. The modern respiratory therapy prototype is the IPPB machine nebulizer, whose power source may or may not be intermittent. The purpose of this nebulizing unit is twofold: humidification of dry gases to approximately 50% humidity at room temperature, and 2, delivery of medication by aerosol. 3. Mainstream nebulizers create aerosol within the main gas flow chamber, allowing the outflow gas to be well humidified. Relative humidity may approach 100% if a heating element is included. Here's figure 9.5 at the top. High pressure gas flow coming in the Venturi mechanism, and then where it goes to the patient. And again, the reservoir will be underneath. Thank you so much for reading this medical information free here on YouTube. The second edition of Clinical Application of Respiratory Care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. Thank you so much. All right. Figure 9-6 is the Venturi mechanism, and where it goes directly to the patient. Then you see underneath is the high pressure gas flow and the reservoir. This is model of an intermittent side stream jet nebulizer. Again, we're in chapter 9, humidity and salt therapy, and section 3, bronchial hygiene, page 177 at the top. Thank you so much for highest heart love. This beautiful Tuesday forenoon, fine rising. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 1,000 subs on this part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. 4. Side stream nebulizers create aerosol outside the main therapeutic gas flow. As the aerosol enters the main gas flow, it partially evaporates and provides humidity while the remainder is carried in the gas flow to the patient. This is an effective means of humidifying dry gas and administering medication during IPPB therapy. Clinical classification of jet nebulizers falls into two main categories: reservoir and intermittent. The reservoir jet nebulizer is almost always of the mainstream type, figure 9-5, and is used for long-term aerosol and oxygen therapy. The intermittent jet nebulizer is usually on the side stream type, figure 9-6. These nebulizers are clinically applied almost exclusively for the purpose of delivery of pharmaceutical aerosol. Hydrodynamic nebulizer. Peace, Brittany. Highest heart love. Thank you for being here. Peace for the likes and subs on this peaceful corner of YouTube. We read books and learn from masters. Peace. Thank you so much for reading with us. Clip application of respiratory care. 1979, second edition. Thousands of dollars of work put into these books to help people to take their MCAT. So we'll read them here for free on this peaceful, quiet part of YouTube. All right. Hydrodynamic nebulizer in the middle of page 177. Recently, another principle of pneumatic nebulization has been developed. This hydrodynamic principle uses a system which prepares a film of water for aerolization by flowing it over a hollow sphere, figure 9-7. A small orifice in the sphere expels gas at supersonic velocity. This high velocity gas ruptures the thin film of water and produces a continuous dispersion of fine liquid particles. A baffle is used to assure uniform particles of small diameter. The hydrodynamic nebulizer has proved to be extremely useful in the armamentarium of equipment available for clinical application of high volume aerosol therapy. Ultrasonic nebulizer. The electric nebulizer works on a completely different principle from pneumatically driven generators. It is a complex electronic instrument that has been described in much detail. We shall review in major features figure 9-8 and applications. The nebulizer has two components, a power unit and a nebulizing unit. The power unit receives standard alternating house current and converts it into a ultra high frequency of approximately 1.35 megacycles per second. The ultra high frequency electric current is conveyed to the nebulizing unit. The nebulizing unit contains a small disk which will vibrate in sympathy with electric current. The piezoelectric transducer transforms the ultra high frequency electric current into ultra high frequency vibrations. In this way, the disk vibrates in sympathy with the ultra high frequency of the electric current, and these ultrasonic vibrations are transmitted to a water bath in which the disk sits. This water bath is called the coplant. A container is placed within the coplant fluid. The container has a bottom that is made of a very thin plastic material which will vibrate in sympathy with the coplant fluid while not allowing water molecules to pass through it. Thus, the coplant vibrations are transmitted into the nebulizing cup, where the intense energy physically breaks the surface water into small particles. Very powerful, right? And that's why we're going to keep breaking it down small sections because I want you to be able to assimilate the information and be able to meditate with it and then use it and apply it. Thank you so much for being here. We're page 179 at the top says the precise mechanisms by which the ultrasonic vibration forms the aerosol is not known. The mechanism has become a subject of controversy that is of no clinical significance. For our purposes, we may conclude that the fine particle nebulization occurs in the aerosol medicament chamber entirely by acoustic energy, i.e., without the use of air or gas. The aerosol particles are carried to the patient by a blower, which provides a carrier gas. The ultrasonic nebulizer is an extremely efficient instrument, nebulizing from 1 to 6 milliliters of water per minute. Because of the high volume aerosol output, heating is not necessary, and the therapy can be administered at room temperature. Peace, peace. Thank you so much, Brittany. Highest heart love. I see the hearts. Much love. Thank you for reading with us. Peace to all my mods, all the family here on YouTube. We love you, all the book readers, all the light workers. The ultrasonic, yes. It is a clinical error to assume that the efficiency of the ultrasonic nebulizer guarantees appropriate deposition of water in the pulmonary tree. The machine is undoubtedly an extremely efficient nebulizer, but does not guarantee the results of therapeutic aerosol. Only the therapist can do that. In summary, ultrasonic nebulizers produce very dense mists with water contents in excess of 100 milligrams over liters. It is an extremely efficient appliance that is claimed to create better than 90% of its particles within the effective range of zero point 0.5 to 3 microns. In contrast, most jet nebulizers produce approximately 55% of the particles in the effective range and seldom produce water contents of more than 50 milligrams over liters. For this reason, ultrasonic nebulizers have gained great popularity in the administration of medical aerosol therapy. Top of page 180. Goals of aerosol therapy. The three clinical goals of aerosol therapy are as 1. An aid to bronchial hygiene. 2. A means of humidify inspired gases. And 3. A means to deliver medication. And that's where we'll pause right here, pick back up. We have one more reading left. Chapter 9, Humidity and Aerosol Therapy, before we go into Chapter 10. So this is all a part of bronchial hygiene therapy in clinical application of respiratory care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. Peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I want to honor you. Thank you for reading such masterful work with us, for helping to heal the people and speak to the people, for being the light worker that you are, shining bright out here in the world. Thank you so much for shaking it up. Woo! We're doing it. And we're pushing to 1,000 subs, reading books. I honor you. Thank you so much. Pushing plant based. Thank you so much. Coco Elo Shun. All our beloveds and family and friends. I want to show honor. All September 2nd, solar returns. We've seen Neptune and Saturn locked up all year. We have the full moon coming. Highest heart love. Thank you so much for reading with us. I honor you. Love you. I love you. I love you. Love water to the family and friends, right? For our body. Want you to have a wonderful Tuesday. Peace, peace. We're going to recycle. Recycling, recycling. Something we can do to help clean up the world, right? I love you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Look at this honor. Look at the love. I see you. Highest heart love. Thank you so much for being here. Peace to all our friends and family. I love you. You know I do. Gratitude and highest heart. I love you. Because you know I love me. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Peace, peace. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing to 1,000 now. I'll see you soon.